Martin comes down a little bit short. And some perspiration on the floor as Ray Thompson hits the deck, and so that's going to be wiped up and play is interrupted.
Eddie hit a 9-iron, should have hit an 8.
He did leave it a little bit short. As James Moses getting ready to come in. Now, if you're from the Cedar Rapids, Waterloo area, he is the namesake and the son of a man that you all know well, Stan Sheriff's son.
That's Mike Sheriff, saying hi to everybody back in Iowa.
Stan's doing well out here. His football program at the University of Hawaii going very well. Now they're trying to get the basketball program up to speed, and it's headed that direction. Bonner with the basket for the Billikens. Thompson in a crowd, and the foul is called on Todd Starks, who tries to strip the ball. Starks with a foul, and that will put the Hawkeyes in the bonus for the final 10:09.
Spin move by Thompson. And certainly the Billiken staff felt that was a good stripping of the ball.
We mentioned it was the 1-and-1. The official score is now 2 to the horn 4 different times, and before the officials finally discover that that's what it will be. And so Armstrong will go to the line with 10:09 remaining. BJ with a 21-point effort thus far after scoring 18 against Eastern Illinois. He had hit 23 free throws in a row coming into the game, and after missing his first, has now banged home 3 straight. Rich Grauer is upset, goes to the scorer's table.
I'll tell you what, it was Ray Thompson that got fouled.
I thought so.
It was not B.J. Armstrong.
I thought so, and the reason he would be upset is because B.J. is one of the best in the country.
Now this is a correctable error if they will acknowledge him. It is a correctable error because the ball has not gone into play yet.
So Rich Grauer and referee John Walding talking about it. Let's take another look. Here's Ray. He gets fouled.
That's number 32, I think.
Yep. Starks fouls Thompson. Rich Grauer is absolutely right. And Tom Davis goes over to find out what the conversation is all about. Now let's see if they will correct this correctable error.
St. Louis University has been charged with a timeout.
St. Louis U charged with a timeout. They're not going to correct it, and BJ gets another free throw.
That's a strange one.
A timeout charged to the St. Louis Billikens. Rich Grauer is angry and with every right.
Yeah, there's no question about that.
23 for BJ and a 10-point lead for the Hawkeyes. And Rich Grauer is still storming at referee John Walding.
That's just
exactly 10 to play in the game.
I was going to say, Larry, that what it is not good teamwork by the officials.
No, Walding was over there with Grauer, and nobody else helped it.
Well, when you make the call, everybody should be looking who made the foul, who's going to get to shoot it, and help each other out.
To the baseline, Monroe Douglas. And Douglas is heating up in the second half. The Hawkeye lead 8. 9.5 remains. Moses loses. Ray Thompson picks it up, and a foul is called. Jepson collides with one of the Billikens. And the foul is going to be called on Todd Starks, his second personal foul. And Jepson will go to the line.
For Iowa is number 51, Les Jepson.
Thompson going over, picking up the ball. And they've already called the foul situation.
Starks played 4 positions debuting for the Billikens last night. Did everything but the post. As we mentioned, a transfer from Illinois State just became eligible last night. Jepson 8 out of 15 on the season from the free throw line. Iowa by 8 as he goes to the strike.
Les needs to make a couple of those because he is a good free throw shooter. Shoots it well in practice. He just needs to experience making them in front of a crowd or in front of some people.
Couldn't exactly call this gathering a crowd, could you?
I don't think it's the largest number of people Iowa will play before.
Among the interested spectators here tonight, by the way, Bob Hogan, a name that I know sounds familiar to you. He was the first man who really originated the statewide Hawkeye network as he handled the play-by-play, and he's now out here at KHON TV, an NBC affiliate in Honolulu. The three-point shot banged home by Douglas. We talked about it earlier, Mac. He's a streak shooter, and now one with a hot hand.
Well, and it keeps St. Louis right in there. You know, right now, they've got a little vendetta. They feel the officials didn't take care of the game. They've got to play a little harder. And that's exactly the position they're in now with their outside shooting. Iowa's got to respond, kind of put down the St. Louis rally.
Billikens on a roll, so this is a big possession for Iowa. Horton against the native of Cedar Rapids, Mike Ivester. And the turnover gives the Billikens the ball. They are within 5 at 69-64. And in comes BJ, along with Looking Bill. And also Roy Marble comes back in.
The shock troops. Iowa's going to have to get back in their continuity.
Douglas finds Gray. Big possession now for the Billikens as they try to make this a close game again. It was close throughout the first half, tied at 39 at the end of the half. The winner into the championship game against the winner of the second game in the night session here in Honolulu between Eastern Washington and Cal Riverside. Todd Starks, big bucket for the Billikens. They're back to within 3. Marble travels as he tries to make the baseline move. So now the Billikens, who trailed by 11 at one point, have a chance to make it a one-point game. And a timeout is taken with 7:49 to play. We'll be back after these messages from our local stations.
Oh, sorry, Vern. Didn't mean to wake you up. Just wanted to reset your alarm so you won't forget to go to Lou Jack Auto Plaza. Vern, their truck center has got Chevy, Nissan, and Mazda trucks all at the same location. 3 different makes of trucks to choose from, all at Lou Jack Auto Plaza. Well, going back to sleep, Vern. You still got a couple hours before you have to be at Lou Jack's. Oh, and Vern, I like your little bear.
Firefighters are putting out this main of a blaze that they think is a suspicious trash fire.
And he was coming back up the stairs and he tripped himself.
Taxpayers that have overpaid their interest taxes. Don't go.
Day in, day out, at home or on the road, you can always count on the great taste of Bud Light. It delivers every time. So ask for Bud Light, cause everything else is just alike. The Billikens have outscored the Hawkeyes 7 in a row. Iowa without a basket the last 2-16. And now the Billikens down by only 3. That is Todd Starks, a very valuable player for Illinois State, until he got into a shouting match with one of the Redbird assistants, and Bob Donewald dismissed him from the team.
What you've got now is Smith is out of there. Starks has run the team in a more delayed offense, similar to what Donewald runs at Illinois State, and that's what Coach Grauer wants, patience.
Douglas, after hitting 4 in a row, misfires, and Horton with a big rebound. Armstrong. 25 for BJ. And that ends a 7-point St. Louis run.
They just keep mounting up. 25 points for Armstrong, I believe.
Now defensive pressure becomes important for the Hawkeyes to make the Billikens work for every shot. We're down to the 7-minute mark in the game. Inside, Ivester. Bonner goes for the jam, and a foul is spotted. Bonner tried to climb the back of Looking Bill. They were battling for position, and I'm not sure what they've called.
I don't know if they called it on the rim.
I think they... Well, let's see.
Well, it's not on the rim. Because it would be hanging on the rim. It would be a technical.
Right.
Well, anybody else want to help me?
Well, I don't have a clue, but it's a Hawkeye possession.
Because there's no foul called, and you can't travel when you're in the middle of the air like that.
Horton, nice power move inside. 13 for Ed, and the Hawkeyes, after seeing their lead shaved to 3, have built it back up to 73 to 66, a 7-point advantage with 6.5 to play. St. Louis having a tough time against that Iowa zone. It has really been effective.
Yeah, they've really made St. Louis slow the ball down, and they've identified the shooters a lot better, taking the wing people, letting Stark shoot it if he wanted to at the point.
With the foul for the Hawkeyes, Ed Horton, and he has drawn his 4th. So Horton with the foul at the 6:10 mark left in the game. Tom Davis will get him out for a little while anyway. Jepson comes in to take his place. Moses in, replacing Ray Thompson. So the Iowa lineup now, Jepson, Looking Bill, Marble, Armstrong, and Moses. And Manuel at the free throw line for the Billikens. He's a 66% foul shot shooter.
And you're really going to have to watch Moses, Looking Bill, when they play defense to see how they'll block out.
15 points now for Tony Manuel.
Now they're calling throwing an elbow by Les Jepson on the block out. He just established position.
Tom Davis can't believe it.
Going to call a technical, I believe.
So Manuel will shoot his second shot in the 1-and-1, and then St. Louis will have the technical. So it's a big juncture of the game for the Billikens, a chance to get right back in it. Manuel now 10 in the second half.
Watch Jepson with that right elbow. Comes across, was trying to establish position. He definitely threw it with an intent to keep the man out of there. I don't know if it's deserving of a technical. You've got to understand, these people are pretty strong in there. Everybody is going to push and shove.
I don't know that it's a technical. I think it may just be the 1-and-1, or else everybody would be away from the lane. It's just a 1-and-1 for Bonner.
But the technical was shot with Manuel. Yes? No.
Manuel was shooting his 2 free throws. Bonner hits the pair. So St. Louis gets 4 free throw opportunities and no technical, but a foul there on Jepson.
You're right.
73-70, the Billikens are once again back to within 3. Looking Bill being pressured by Bonner. That is Armstrong. Boy, we said it early, Mac, and it wasn't our expertise, it was the coaches who said it. Free throw shooting might determine the outcome. That may be quite a factor down the final 5.5 minutes of the game.
Well, you would expect free throws to be critical. Both teams really aggressive. There'll be a lot of free throw shooting. There's contact.
Bonner with a foul, and Moses will go to the line. Anthony Bonner with just his second foul.
And James needs to hit a couple free throws. James just comes up, shows the ball, good play. Just show a ball. It's amazing how many times the defender will rise up on his toes or go into the air, not even having a chance to block a shot.
Ed Horton, a moment ago, drew his 4th foul. He now comes in less than a minute after drawing that 4th personal foul. Moses goes to the line, and he is 46% at the line. Will be much better than that once he gets comfortable and mature in his college career.
He just has to have a rhythm to his shooting. He's forcing it a little bit because he knows he's a shooter, and that's where he thinks he can help this team. Coaching staff keeps working with James. It will come. Just let the game come to you. Take the shots that are there.
Iowa up by 5 if Moses can convert the second one. 75-70 Hawks, 5:33 to play. This is Douglas coming down. And with the rebound, Ed Horton. Ed Horton's got a bundle of rebounds again tonight, Mac.
Well, he's going to have to get some help, though, for the Big Ten season. That's at least 13 we have him for. Get it down.
Moses! Big basket from the confidence standpoint of the freshman from California.
And the bench
hits it in the clutch.
The bench rose up on that one.
Bonner on the way in gets fouled. Armstrong in front of him.
BJ trying to slide over, take position. Every time Iowa was able to get it up to a 5 to a 7-point lead, they do something that allows St. Louis to get back into the game. Armstrong sliding over a foul.
BJ with a 25-point night, leading the Hawkeyes in scoring. Bonner, a 64% free throw shooter, 3 out of 4 on the game. Bonner, a former Mr. Basketball in the state of Missouri.
tell you, Bashan High School, where he came from, they have got 2 other great players there this year. Melvin Robinson, Montel Nash. Don't be surprised if they end up. SLU Billikens also.
Vincent Smith coming in because of his three-point ability. He's got 4 of them all in the first half. And the Billikens down by 6 with 5:05 to play. Figured that he may be able to spark them. Bonner, by the way, real gutty performer. He's playing on an ankle that the St. Louis trainer says very few players could play on. It's so tender, but he is so tough. He wants to be in there. And if the ankle's bothering him, he shows no indication. Ed Horton a little bit hard. Tubbs with a rebound. Marble with a rebound. 20 for Roy Marble.
Good aggressive play by the Hawkeyes.
Inside it is Douglas. And the jam put through by Bonner.
Eddie Horton couldn't do anything about it. He had to let the man go and drive. Horton stuck on that lucky 13. Rebounds and points for the night.
And 4 fouls. That's why he had to ease off that time. 4 minutes, 25 seconds to play. Iowa clinging to a 5-point lead. Same airtime tomorrow night, regardless of the outcome. We will be on the air at 10 o'clock. Inside, it is Tubbs looking for room. Trying to move along the baseline, and he walked with it. St. Louis collapsed around him. 3 pairs of bodies, and Drake trying to force something. Now Ray Thompson back into the Iowa attack, and Moses will lead.
This will be a control pressure by Iowa. Seeing where the pass is going to go, see what direction St. Louis wants to try and move the ball up court, and then put a 2-time on when they don't expect it. That time, nothing developed.
Just under 4 minutes to go. The Hawks have led by as many as 11. Their current lead is 5, and St. Louis trying to cut it down even further. The shot clock down to 15. As again, the zone has slowed down the Billikens, but Gray hits the turnaround for his first basket of the second half. 14 points in the first half. His first basket of the second half coming right there.
And that was a screen by Bonner. It got the man open. It was a good job, and you're going to see the roll offense, the delay offense. St. Louis, I'm sure, has seen this on tape. They're just going to go ahead, stay back, because there's 3:15 left, 3-point lead. Then when the ball gets down under, or the clock, excuse me, gets down under about 12 seconds, Iowa will set up a play and go. And you can look for Armstrong to be the trigger man.
Shot clock down to 15, and now the Hawkeyes will use a timeout. Timeout with 3 minutes and 2 seconds left to play, and Mac and I will return from Honolulu in just a moment.
Your man in Washington has come through?
The Americans will be most displeased. Observe the argon-activated radio-optic laser light.
Amusing, Boris, but the party demanded Bud Light.
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Where is Boris? He is enjoying a cold one.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
Today's holiday wishes can come true with the hardware gift circular from True Value Hardware Stores, where you'll find this Sony portable AM radio for just $4.69, this First Alert rechargeable flashlight for only $7.99, and the colorful Ortho Christmas book for just $6.99. Or get this Master Mechanic professional palm grip sander for only $38.95 from participating True Value Hardware Stores and home centers.
It has been a basketball war in the semifinals of the Chaminade Classic. The Iowa lead is 3, but Mac, this one has been a war.
And I'll tell you, the momentum changed, I certainly believe, is when the free throw opportunity went to B.J. Armstrong, when obviously the foul was made against Ray Thompson. It kind of made St. Louis say, hey, this is like an 8-on-5 game. You know, we've got to beat some other people out there too. And they picked up their defensive tempo immensely.
Horton muscles in. Thompson, another offensive rebound and a basket. The thing that he does so very well, he does it again.
Guess who's there?
He thinks that every missed shot on the offensive end should be a basket for him, and he takes that mentality into it, that rebounder mentality that you can't coach, that you can't teach. Ray Thompson's just got it.
Well, you talk about when Matt Bullard goes out, somebody was going to get experience that would not have gotten that many minutes. Obviously, Ray Thompson is that player, responding very well.
Manuel in deep. Marble tries to take it from him. And Iowa comes up with a basketball.
And Wade Looking Bill continues to do little things that absolutely never show up in the score box to help his team win. That time deflecting the ball back in bounds.
Now Iowa will pull it out and wait for St. Louis to come out after him.
Shot clock is at 30.
And the game clock exactly 2 minutes. (81-76) Hawks inside Horton. The execution was there. The shot was not as it hits the underside of the rim. Big break for the Billikens. Into the lane. The shot put through by Bonner. And he has had a 17-point night with all but 3 of them coming in the second half. And now a 3-point game. 1:34 left. The Billikens have kept the pressure on. A couple of times Iowa got to a double figure late only to have the Billikens come scrapping back.
They're doing a good job. They're setting almost on a 1-3-1 zone.
Shot clock at 20, game clock at 1:13. Timeout Hawkeyes. 1:11 left to play. Iowa 81, St. Louis 78, and we'll be right back.
Oh, Harold, it's lovely.
I hope you like it.
It reminds me of when we first got electric light back when I was a child.
Oh.
Daddy used to draw his chair up to that light and read to it. Oh, and memories. But, Harold, this is the 80s. And I wanted a Bud Light.
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Kill the light, will you, Harold?
Oh, because everything else is just a light.
The greatest reward in being part of a leading biotechnology program is knowing that our efforts are going to serve the people of Iowa. For example, an old process being studied here called wet corn milling is improving marketable products made from corn. Imagine how this will benefit our state's economy. The University of Iowa, lighting a path to the future from the heartland of America.
Hawkeye ball, a 3-point lead, and 1:11 left to go. Our player of the game, B.J. Armstrong. Another stellar performance by B.J. And, you know, the thing, he can get 25 points. Guys do that. The thing is when he gets them, and he got them at critical times tonight.
Well, he certainly has done a lot of it on his own one-on-one moves, taking it right at St. Louis. He's played a lot of minutes, and you can be sure that for the Hawkeyes to win, Armstrong's going to have to play well the last minute and 5 seconds.
Shot clock is down to 5. Shot clock at 3. St. Louis with a steal. They're down by 3. The Billikens still in a position to upset the 4th-ranked team in the country.
And the Hawkeyes have gone man-to-man, it looks. Nope, going to stay in the zone. Well,
38 seconds.
It's man-to-man.
The shot clock is at 20. Douglas, who's had the hot hand, misses. The rebound by Bonner, and it's a 1-point game.
And you can bet Armstrong's going to keep that ball. You got a 90% free throw shooter. There'll be nobody else touching this basketball. If it is, they'll be right back to him.
We'll be back with you at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Wade Lookingbill will go to the line. The foul called on Bonner. The Billikens figured they would foul the freshman and put some heat on the freshman. From the free throw line, Lookingbill 11 of 15 on the season.
And I don't think St. Louis has any timeouts left. I think they've used them. Oh, they do have one. They do have one. This is their last.
This is their last. Of course, they lost one when Grauer was complaining about the wrong free throw shooter at the line for Iowa. Now, you recall that situation. Ray Thompson got fouled. B.J. Armstrong, one of the nation's best, went to the free throw line. Now, the ball game comes right down to the wire. Grauer is saying, boy, that call really, really may have wounded him.
Well, it certainly added the inspiration, I believe, to his team. And they're going to have now Coach Grauer.
On the outside, he is the calmest man in the place as he clinically explains what he wants his Hawkeyes to do. On the inside, a different story. Now, Wade Lookingbill, the freshman from Fort Dodge, to the line, a pressure situation.
You've got 3 opportunities. If he misses the first, obviously any basket then wins for St. Louis. If he makes it, will St. Louis go for the 3 or go for a tie? Or if he makes both, St. Louis is forced to go to the 3. Iowa, you can bet, will play man-to-man defense. They want to have a hand up in the face of the shooter.
1-1 for Wade Lookingbill. And it's a 2-point lead for Iowa, 82-80. Back with you at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Remember, the Hawkeyes have played the winner of the game coming up between Cal Riverside and Eastern Washington.
Do you know how nervous right now Wade Lookingbill is? He's walking back and forth from that line. Looks like a new dance.
But he's performed in a pressure situation as a freshman for Iowa, but now the most pressure in his young collegiate career.
That's 3.
The Billikens need a 3 to tie with 13 seconds remaining.
And Iowa will probably pick up at about midcourt. Make St. Louis control the ball. And Roy's got the man that he's going to have to guard is Smith. Smith didn't want any part of it. Gray, the senior.
Billikens 6 3-pointers in the first half, none here in the second half. And a jump ball is called. The possession arrow will give it to the Billikens. They get one more crack at it with 3 seconds to play.
I'll tell you.
And Horton a little bit hot.
Well, you cannot let Manuel shoot that ball. Manuel is an excellent 3-point shooter. From out there, you know, he's got the range. He's over 40% for the season.
Their best, by the way, is Roland Gray. Now, coming into the game, Gray was 13 out of 21 at 3-point range. He has 2 threes in this game. Vincent Smith, the other 3-point shooter, has 4 of them. But again, 6 3-pointers by the Billikens in the first half, none in the second half. And how ironic it is, Mac, that Rich Grauer, the St. Louis coach, telling us earlier today, last year his ball club just not a 3-point shooting team, just didn't have the ability, as we listen to Rich Grauer.
We got Tony Smith here. We got Monroe Douglas. Now, Tony Mann. Now, you got to get yourself away. You got to look how the defense is playing. You got to look how the defense is playing. You got to get yourself off this line in conjunction with how they're playing Vinny. And you're all going for Vinny's man. Vinny's coming here to catch and shoot. Hey, Britt, come on, Vinny. Let's go.
Boy, they're going to call him the freshman, Vinny Smith. That's who they want to get the basketball. Obviously, Iowa can guard the perimeter. It doesn't make any difference at all what happens inside 19-9.
A year out of high school, it looks like that number 5, Vincent Smith, set up to get the last shot. From 3-point range this year, he was 17 of 38 coming into the game, and tonight he has hit 4 3-point goals, all in the first half.
Watch Vincent Smith at the top of the key. He's going to curl off some picks and get that shot towards the left corner.
He'll never get a chance. It's stolen by Armstrong. The ball game is over on a B.J. Armstrong steal, and the Hawkeyes come up with the victory. A 3-point win to send them into the finals of the Chaminade Classic. So the Iowa Hawkeyes to take on the winner of Cal Riverside and Eastern Washington for the championship in the Chaminade Classic. The Hawkeyes now 10-0 after beating the Billikens of St. Louis 83-80. Tonight's game has been brought to you by Bud Light. Everything else is just alike. By Amana, when you know exactly what you want. And by True Value, your store of first choice. A copyrighted program of Iowa's athletic department.
From everybody at Evans Furniture and 4th Street Auction, have a Merry Christmas and a safe and happy New Year.
Hi, I'm Denny Sargent. I'd like to wish you and yours a very happy holiday season from Sargent's Western Stores.
From all of the family here at B&B.